Remember that Logan Paul film review I did ages ago? Well, now the director of the movie is trying to take down the video, even though YouTube themselves said it was fair use and they're not going to do anything. Seeming I'm on very thin ice at the minute, I thought it'd be a good idea to take a step back and make another video on a YouTuber's work. Now, Liza Koshy is someone I didn't know until recently. I mean, I've always known she's existed, thanks to YouTube's recommendation feature. From what I gather, she dated David Dobrik and is incredibly brand-friendly. That's why you see her with so many other brand-friendly famous people.
Is there any artist or art that you really are into?
Oh, I love the actor that...
But most importantly, Liza Koshy is a comedian, and the majority of her content consists of 4-minute videos where she explained hilarious and quirky situations any 7-year-old white girl would find relatable.
Baths are like really good to relax your muscles. Okay, well I don't have muscles, so...
Now, I'm not sure about you, but saying sentence fragments in a funny voice and making a human troll face every 5 seconds isn't exactly well-structured comedy. Now, Liza seems to be an incredibly confident person, able to interview and talk to big famous people, while still being in a wacky, hilarious character. But what if I told you Liza Koshy has anxiety? That's right, and she made an entire video on it, definitely in no way trivializing what people suffering with anxiety actually go through. To be fair, she did make a pinned comment addressing it, saying it was basically a below mediocre video, but she never actually apologizes and instead says it's current year. So it comes across more as a I'm sorry you feel that way than a genuine apology.
Sorry, that's Jeff.
But you know what? Let's give her a break. The video is over 2 years old, and it's not like my content a couple years ago was any good. But first, Liza Koshy is back and has her own YouTube Red series, where she plays herself running various odd jobs to make ends meet, including her quirky sidekicks, man and woman. Yeah, we really got this instead of Scare PewDiePie, didn't we? Now, the show somehow got a second season, which just came out, but for this video, I'll be taking a look at the first season. I'd throw both into this video, but I'm a bit pressed for time because of other matters. The first episode has 51 million views? No wonder she bailed out on uploading regularly. Why would you need to when you make millions just off one video? Anyway, the show begins with Liza working as an Uber driver, taking a kid to a drop-off. You can tell the kid is meant to be annoying because his only memorable lines are asking for nudes.
Should I ask to snap me a nude?
And the cost of Yeezys.
And she won't buy me those Yeezys.
Look, I get it, alright? Kids own Yeezys. I hate them as much as the next person. But this is Oblivion tier character writing.
Diesel. Armani jeans are like 150, 400. It was 750. This was 150. Oh yeah, hold on.
Hold on, you know.
And then this.
The blood of the innocent. Priceless.
Anyway, she drops the kid off a block away because she has an unpaid parking ticket, and the kid gives her 1 star because she didn't drop him off at the right place.
1 star.
And this is where our relatable protagonist...
That's right, you potty mouth little brat.
...shows her...
I am gig economy or die, kid, all day.
...relatable side. We then get an intro card, which, honestly, it just reminds me of the Emoji Movie, but hey, at least it's short. Next, we see Liza's roommates, Harlow, played by Kimiko Glenn, most notably playing Brooke Soso from Orange is the New Black, Penny Parker from Enter the Spider-Verse, and Lena from DuckTales. God, just... give her an Oscar right now. And also Oliver, played by Travis Coles, most noted in the Doctor Who spin-off Torchwood as Miscellaneous Crew. You guys remember Torchwood, right? It had the children, the playground standing still. It was very spooky.
What is a thought compared to a mind?
Oh my god, look, a ball moving on its own. It definitely wasn't just kicked by that child. No, wait. He was also a waiter on the 5th quarter. Shoutouts to all my waiters. Also, I don't really understand why these two play characters when Liza is apparently just playing herself. Unless the show is all about Liza Koshy, and these two just facilitate scenarios for Liza to come out on top of. Oh my god, the entire show is about Liza Koshy. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that Harlow has a dog?
We have an announcement. Bark Paul Gosselaar has a meeting at Nike.
And it's called Bark Paul. What? I mean, this show came out in 2018, the same year the Paul brothers were dominating YouTube, so it really doesn't surprise me. Oliver tells Liza to sort her life out and to get a real job instead of a bunch of odd jobs.
If you want to find your thing, stop procrastinating. Start doing.
You're right. I'll pay my parking tickets.
Yeah, try telling that to anyone who's played a Bethesda game. Liza gets her first job of the day, which is to put down someone's cat.
You just take him inside, bring him to the front desk. I already called in my credit card information and told them to dispose of the ashes.
I wish I was joking. I'm not even sure what the punchline is, like how emotionally attached the man is to his pet. Maybe because how much of an outlandish job it is for Liza to get.
He used to eat my socks and my toothbrush and my 10-inch anatomically correct sweater.
Ah, that's the joke. Funny sex reference. I get it now. 5 stars. So now Liza has the cat. We have this running joke through the entire episode that she can't bring herself to game end the cat. So instead just brings it along with her. You see, I said instead of the K word. So I still get ads. I am so clever. Anyway, her next job is completing a jigsaw puzzle for a rich person. Look, let's not question it. I don't want the video any longer than it needs to be. Oh, and cheeky Liza helps herself to some of the wine in the kitchen. Oh, the naughty girl. The cat eats the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle, and Liza has to wait for the cat to excrete it out.
You ain't Neil deGrasse Tyson's dick.
Have you guys not heard of Amazon Prime? Just order another jigsaw for pickup.
Real quick, guys, we got a lot of viewers right now. I don't know how many of you guys have Twitch Prime, but you guys don't even know what that is. All you have to do is to see if you have it. Click on this.
Instead of being productive with her 2 incomplete jobs, Liza goes to meet Oliver at a cupcake stand.
No animals. You have to leave.
What about that duck?
That is a registered therapy animal. Do you have paperwork?
Okay, that was nearly funny, and only because I imagined it as dull and dark.
That was fucking delicious.
Also, when they come back, the cat has been taken. The thing is, who cares? And this isn't even me being morbid. It's exactly what Liza and Oliver said in the scene prior.
He'll be okay under there, right?
What's the difference?
Right.
But now for some reason, Liza seems hell-bent on the cat's safety. Guys, I think this is character development. But then, plot twist. The cat was never really ill. It was just a bad roommate trying to get rid of the cat. Alright, can we stop with that? The meme's dead. Some random guy rescues the cat. Like, I'm not even joking. He's not part of any kind of animal welfare. He's just some guy that took it upon himself to help the cat.
Look, we only left it there for like 10 minutes.
I see. So it's your cat. Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you neglected this beautiful creature like a wilted flower or a used condom.
Okay, you really need to expand your references.
Analogies.
You can also tell he's a cat person from the fur randomly placed on his collar. Liza demands the cat back, and the guy puts up probably the worst physical defense I've seen in a YouTube Red series.
Come on. Hey. No. Hey. No.
Oh, am I gonna chase her?
God, no.
Yeah, you seem really invested to save that cat, man. So she brings the cat back to the owner. The day is saved. Liza Koshy gets the top post on R, get motivated. You get the idea.
Ignore him. You did the right thing.
Thanks.
So are you going to pay me then? You know, for bringing him back?
Oh, I'm not on task yet.
I'm a cynical shell of a man, but there is one joke that made me laugh.
Oh my god, and look at all this free stuff I got. I got like Gatorade you can snort and a shirt from Kanye West's new exclusive line. Or maybe that's a dirty tart.
Ah, I see you two are aware of the Kanye West Jesus is King merch. Why yes, I'll take some used socks and 144p Jesus please. Or you could just get actual merch, you know, link down in description. So we move on to episode 2. I mean, how many more are there? Oh, Jesus, girl. You couldn't have just made a mini-series, could you?
I am Master Chief.
In episode 2, Liza was given an end goal for the series, to get elite status with her job app, which I guess is like on Uber going from an X to a Lux. I don't know.
Well, I'm working my way up to elite status, and in order to be elite, you have to be skilled in all sorts of jobs. Yesterday, I was a Bruno Mars impersonator for a bar mitzvah. I'm the same height as him.
It feels like half this show is about to lead to a bad Family Guy cutaway gag, but instead of the gag, they just replace it with awkward silence.
5-star cookies, 5 stars. And that shelf was crooked.
Oh no, look out. It's conveniently placed dog feces. Surely she wouldn't step on it. Oh no, she stepped on it. Liza Koshy, you are a comedy masterpiece. Only you could make poop funny in current year.
Smile, baby. You're too pretty to look so mad.
You're also a total stranger. So why should I do anything you say to begin with?
Because it would please you? Because that's rather presumptuous and also sexist. I mean, when you really break it down.
You limpy shit. You're ugly anyway.
What was the point throwing the sandwich at the bin if you're gonna miss it anyway? Oh, I get it. Okay, men bad. Am I right? Of course I'm right. And this isn't even hyperbole. I feel that this entire episode is dedicated to how trashy men are. It's almost like the pilot episode was super inclusive to get as many ratings as possible. And when the actual series got commissioned, Liza had free reign to put her opinions into the show.
I don't get any jobs in manual labor because they always hire some big jacked up guy. It's not right. Look, I can do anything a man can do, okay?
Now, hear me out. I agree with Liza. I hate men. They're 99.9% of the reason I die in video games. But when you write all of the single appearance males as one-dimensional Cali Dubros, it becomes a bit insufferable. Oh, by the way, Liza's pretending to be a guy in this episode, despite having makeup. Oh, and if you didn't get that men are dumb and stupid yet, remember Sandwich Man from earlier? He's apparently a total incel and invites Liza around to his house to drink and smoke.
Told this girl on the street yesterday to smile, and she was like, no, I'm a bitch.
And the only way Liza can help him to respect women is to break his property. Remember, ladies, all 11.5% of you that watch my videos, if you want a man to respect you, break their property to force them to see your point of view. Afterwards, Liza goes back to the two guys that she helped move furniture for, while under the disguise of a man. They tell her that they always knew that she was a girl and thought she was transitioning from male to female. And you know what? It's actually nice to have something inclusive like that here. Apparently these guys were just really supportive dude bros, but not Mr. Incel. Apparently he has no redemption arc.
Damn, girl. You have a great ass.
Moral of the episode, men bad. Not all men, just maybe most men. Episode 3 has a theme about popularity, and you know how some people will always be more successful than others. A pretty sensitive topic, seeming the huge imbalance our society has. You know, we truly do live on a planet. That's why when the episode starts, Liza is straight up lying about her background on a high school reunion page to get those sick upvotes.
Liza is a successful entrepreneur who recently sold 3 important ideas to Google and splits her time between her house in Malibu and a horse ranch in Colorado.
What if you just told the truth?
I hate to say it, but I really think Oliver should be the protagonist of the series. He's pretty much the only likable person. Without him, every 20-minute episode would be 20 hours.
You are enough just as you are. You've made a really exciting life for yourself out here in Los Angeles. Okay, you've got 2 foxy roommates, and last week you picked up poop bags for Ryan Gosling's dog.
Could you imagine Ryan Gosling's face when he found out he nearly met Liza Koshy? Liza's first job of the episode is taking care of some flowers. The woman who gave her the job is literally a copy-paste of the estranged rich mom from the first episode. And instead of her taking a cat everywhere this episode, it's an orchid. By the way, one of the running gags for the episode is her talking to the plant.
Pizza sauce, cheese, all on a French roll. Oh, tried making it at home. It's not the same. Shouldn't care so much, but I do.
Don't be insulted if I don't talk to you out here, okay?
I will never cheat on you again. I just want to live happily ever after with you.
Do you get it? It's something people wouldn't do unless taking copious amounts of Class A drugs.
But you know what you'll get, Todd, like the 10-man Steve. You got Twitter, but you ain't got no Twitter.
Outside with a supporting character for this episode, Liza sits near some youths that are smoking. Ooh, very naughty.
Hey, you want a hit?
Sure.
Stop right there!
Chance the Rapper pick up Mayo or Mayo?
Maybe it's Malo. Like marshmallow? I think it's pronounced marshmallow. But what do I know? I'm vegan.
You do realize vegan marshmallows are a thing, right? No, of course you don't, because your entire character was written as a one-liner joke to make Liza look better.
You want a hit?
Liza gets lit.
That lasagna had a baby.
And honestly, she just sounds like YouTube Liza instead of YouTube Red Liza.
Right.
What was that? Oh, it was an indoor sounding bell when you're sat outside in a park.
What was that noise?
Also, Liza is now on a school campus for some reason, and the first thing she does is befriend the quiet kid.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It's me. Oh, weed.
Saying the word weed is funny, guys, I swear. That's why there's a video of me on YouTube laughing at the word for half a minute. And then this really weird scene happens where Liza gives this girl a big speech saying how things will get better and everything's gonna be okay.
It's not always gonna be like this.
How would you know?
I was once like you when I was at my old school.
And I get that she's meant to be high, but it feels as invasive as a late night talk show host.
Talking to like
Popping and locking or spinning? What kind of stuff? Everything? Yeah. Would you do it out on the street for people to see?
Sometimes, but it was more personal.
It was?
Yeah, I like to keep it for myself.
Just you and a piece of cardboard in your room.
You're making fun of it, but it was pretty serious for me.
Then Liza convinces her to go into a live stage performance for confidence building.
Dude, that's such a good show. You should totally audition. It's a great way to make friends.
It's like waking up from your grave in Dark Souls 3, and then you go fight the Nameless King as the first boss.
Okay, I'm gonna call it a day, guys.
You guys do realize you need like a segue into character development, right? Also, did I tell you that Liza is a humble character?
I cannot believe one of those popular girls in school is coming to my Sweet 16.
Me? Oh, no, you think I'm popular?
She created the show and wrote into the script that she is popular.
Hey, Liza!
What up, B-Day?
Liza, hi. Do you want to sit with us at lunch? We're gonna run lines.
Oh, yeah.
I would be annoyed at this, but I'm already too fixated on how bad men are.
Liza, who do you have?
I have, corn bag? Dr. Cornbag?
Did they just steal a joke from the dictator?
What's your real name? Ladis. Ladis what? Ladis was her room.
Oh, and if you didn't get from the previous episode, men are entitled pushy pigs. There's another generic douche character who tries to hit on Liza, gets rejected, so then follows her home and wants to bed her.
I don't want to be in any trouble or anything, so I'm just gonna, yeah.
Thanks. You know, I really appreciate that.
Oh my god! Oh no!
We then get a montage of Liza running around being the most popular girl in school. But Liza's so popular, she hates it. Very humble writing. So to get everyone to hate her, she farts, because that is comedy. Is Liza Koshy baiting the commentary community? And that is the end of the episode. I'm not even joking. It just abruptly ends. We don't even see what happened to the girl that Liza wanted to do the stage performance with. She just does a funny fart and leaves. So far, Liza's show has been just a little bit controversial with its depiction of certain topics. But what could make it even more controversial? An entire episode dedicated to politics. Oh god. Now, remember Harlow? No, you don't. Liar! She's dating this guy who looks like a mix between early 2000s Eminem, skinny John Cena, and sounds like how Mark Wahlberg would talk off camera.
Oh, snap.
Next, we see Liza go to some sort of polling station, I think. And, one of the reps there, I'll just let it play out.
I want you to imagine a time when life was about working with your hands. When you wanted to hear a song, you simply dropped a needle on a phonograph and you let the table do the work. When the only thing you had to protect, Liza, was your land.
Then, Liza meets the head rep of whatever vague party this is, and he hints that he may get her elite status for helping promote his event.
I am a majority shareholder at Tasket, so if things go well today, that could be mighty good for you down the road.
Like, elite status?
So again, men are sleazy and bad. Unless they help Liza, then men good? Also, why is this woman just on her own eating cheese? Look, I do want to point something out. I know I'm using the men bad as a bit of a crutch to criticize Liza's show, but no joke, the very next scene, the head rep does a speech, basically saying women need to be put in their place.
A time when separate was equal. When you're woman, well, she only asked you 2 questions. Honey, what do you want for dinner and who we voting for? Well, I'll tell you right now, you're voting for Clay.
Also, just to tick another box, the guy's a full-on racist and anti-Semite.
America was better when those Jewish holidays, well, they were just called work days.
There's even a guy in the crowd that shouts this.
Make America great again!
I really don't care what your political alignment is, but it's very clear Liza is using her platform to push her political views across. Can we go back to the pilot, please? With the funny dying cat? I can't believe that was actually better. Oh, and just to prove, the rep is an evil 2D villain. He has a horse, which, I guess you could say he put his Minecraft bed next to. Anyway, Liza films it and shows everyone and gets him kicked out of the race.
Can't believe he would sleep with a black horse.
Someone wrote that as a joke. Anyway, episode 5 is all about love. with the main theme around Valentine's Day. It begins with Liza strangely breaking the fourth wall and talking to us, the viewer. This is the only time it's done, and it fits very oddly with the show. Her first task of the day is to go to this guy's house and drop off some flowers. There's also this bit where I think he likes Skyrim or something.
My lady.
See, it probably wouldn't make sense to me, seeing as I've never seen the show.
What? What are you talking about? It's the best show on television.
Still haven't seen it.
Yeah, but how?
All right, honestly, it was Game of Thrones, but let's be fair, you couldn't tell the difference. Next up, Liza delivers presents to a guy.
V-Day package for you.
Finds out the guy's cheating on his wife.
This is so cute. Your wife's gonna love it.
Oh, it's not for my wife.
Goes to the house to report him and finds out they're all in a polyamorous relationship. I mean, sure, it's progressive. You know, honestly, I don't care anymore. Liza then treats all of her friends to phallic toys because they couldn't find a date.
You're welcome.
You're so weird.
How generous. Moral of the story for this episode: shut up. Episode 6 is Liza trying to make her own startup to get out of her odd job. And the intro skit has probably the best character in the entire show.
Doing a little market research.
Ooh, my dogs are pretty hungry.
What do you think about ordering a coffee that comes with an inspirational quote?
Like, written in the phone?
Oh, no, on the sleeve. Oh, and also actual coffee. It's motivation and a cup of Joe. Mojo.
Why can't every character be written like this? The entire season would last 5 minutes. Liza meets another tenant, Beth, who apparently just moved into LA.
I just moved into 3F and also LA.
Just stay away from Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Rice Gum, and you should be alright. Beth, much like Liza, doesn't really have an end goal in life, so Liza sets her up with her job app. So Beth will work Liza's tasks, but Liza reaps the benefits. Again, relatable protagonist, everyone. You can probably tell where this episode is going. You know, it's the replacement character episode. Something pretty much every cartoon on Disney Channel's had, where the main cast of characters get a +1 and they try to copy how the others act. And then usually you have one character that's scared of being uprooted and replaced because the new person seems better. The difference is here in Liza's rendition is the woman is a psycho and literally steals people's identities.
Did you do something different with your hair?
Wait, Beth, you have my backpack.
Or do you have my backpack?
And Liza goes to meet one of the people that Beth used to be friends with.
Beth?
Wow, an actually funny concept. And we're only 75% through the entire series. While Liza is looking for a present for her roommate's birthday, Harlow, Beth spikes her tire so she'll be late to the party. And just to add insult to injury, Beth bought Harlow a present that she specifically told Liza not to buy. Liza Koshy is a very quiet and reserved person. So of course she calls out Beth in the most loud and public way possible.
You stole my friends, you stole my job, you stole my bracelet, my backpack, everything!
And because there's 5 minutes of runtime left, of course this doesn't work and Liza is ostracized from her group. She then tries another tactic to pretend she got a super important CEO job at a company, knowing it'll bait Beth to come and follow her again.
Some people just don't understand the dangers of indiscriminate surveillance.
That lady that invented the mop, I'm pitching them Mojo. I have a call today at 10.
Also, Liza's roommates both find out that Beth is insane in the most contrived way possible.
My God.
I get it, there's only 3 minutes of the episode left, but who leaves all of their evidence in the bag they carry around? The episode cuts to a month later, and we see that Beth actually went to the made-up meeting, and she's now basically a multi-millionaire, copying the woman that she had the meeting with.
Mojo. So tell us, how did you two come together on this idea?
Honestly, I give all the credit to Beth. She literally just showed up in the lobby of my building in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Well, it looks like Mojo is poised to make Mojo.
You know, that's a pretty bittersweet ending, and this episode was actually tolerable. Nice job, Liza. I especially enjoyed the Big Boss cameo. That was actually very refreshing from the typical man bad and ignorant formula. And then, of course, they screw it up by having the opener for the next episode having man being bad and ignorant.
These eggs are cold. Of course they are. I knew you'd screw this up.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't try and hit on her, so at least there's a variety with men being bad.
1 star.
Now, Liza's first task of the episode is to be a professional mourner at a funeral.
I'm off to a job.
As a ninja?
I genuinely thought that this was made up, but apparently it's a real thing that people can hire. It seems more common in the Eastern world, but people in the West have done it as well. We truly do live on a planet. I assume the funeral is the death of good comedy. Now, alright, I am being a bit harsh, because the next bit actually has a funny gag. Liza goes and meets all the other fake mourners that were hired for the funeral, and one of them demonstrates...
I can get really choked up and even convulse a little bit.
I do thug tears.
I'm starting to notice this trend with the show. When there's a joke that Liza isn't involved in, the joke is actually funny. Hopefully, Thug Tears Man gets a spin-off series.
See, that's what I thought. Coming up in here, getting in everybody's business. Get out the crying game. If you can't, ball.
Also, remember the old boomer guy from the opening sketch? He's dead. And he died from ignorance.
So he refused treatment and went home. 2 days later, he died. He died the way that he lived, with seriously debilitating trust issues.
Liza, being the respectful woman she is, uses the opportunity to grab the guy's phone from his body to change the rating he gave her.
Okay, I have to go get a dead guy's phone from his coffin, change my task rating, and then I have to fake cry over a dead Argentinian.
Does this mean Liza Koshy's an anti-hero? Then she gets caught trying to swap the phones and has to do a public speech.
Oh, Liza, did you want to speak first?
Did I?
And I think out of the entire series, this scene in particular really shows how unfunny Liza is on her own.
As he walks through the valley in the shadow of death, in West Philadelphia, born and raised.
I get it, like, it was meant to be awkwardly funny, the word the cool kids say, cringe. But just saying a bunch of random, non-relevant things isn't comedy. Anyway, she gets 1 star for defiling a body. Shout outs to Logan Paul. And then she starts to cry real tears, so the funeral director gives her 5 stars. I guess it balances it out?
Those are 5-star tears.
And the thing is, if she got a 1 star and a 5 star, she's no close to getting her elite status. So great, an episode that didn't move the plot at all. And she's now no closer to getting her elite status. So great, this episode was entirely pointless. Oh my god. There's only 1 episode left. Praise the sun god, the moon god, and Fortnite YouTubers with male pattern baldness. Only 1 more half-an-hour episode, and I get to go to bed. The final episode, thank the Lord, starts off with Liza only 1 job away from achieving the coveted elite status. And the group celebrate by going to a bar.
Okay. Hey, barkeep. What is your most elite beverage?
Well, tonight's special is the November 7th.
What's in it?
Enough alcohol to make you forget who's president.
What? Was that an Orange Man bad joke? Liza's group get absolutely wasted and then wake up with various things changed.
Why do I have a briefcase handcuffed to my wrist?
Again, like, nothing original. I mean, this is pretty much all nabbed from The Hangover, but still, it's something different. And we're on the last episode. Look, the less I complain, the quicker this will be over. So, pretty much this entire episode is them trying to retrace their steps to find out what happened the night before.
Someone pierced my business, look! Look!
Oh my god, they went right through the best part.
These are yours. Oh, yeah, I got my, ears pierced last night.
You showed us all last night.
Oh, crap.
Actually, the whole restaurant. I had to pull you down off the tables. You were really proud.
Apparently, public indecency is okay. Only if you're the main character of a show. That's actually really good to know because I record half my videos in my boxes anyway. Liza gets into an underground dance competition because apparently she left her phone here. I mean, it looks like Vault 111 to me, but anyway. She goes up against an actual professional dancer and just ends up doing a bunch of Fortnite emotes.
Admit it! You have very good parents!
Afterwards, Oliver finds the key to his briefcase. But what's inside? The bright light from Pulp Fiction? Limited exclusive pyrocynical merch available now? No, it's just a certificate of winning an escape room. They go to the escape room and ask the guy running it where they were last night. I would like to say the series ends here, and later the Dovahkiin finds their skeletal remains somewhere in a cave.
Well, I'll tell you. But first, you have to complete the game the correct way. The tables have turned. You guys had 47 minutes on the clock last night before you snuck out of here.
What? No.
Wait.
But instead of actually solving the room, they just wait until the timer expires and leave.
I knew you yucky dipshits couldn't make it out for real.
Look, man, I did what you asked. Now you just tell me, where else did I go last night?
Oh, I have no idea. I just lied so you guys would finish the game the right way.
Rudy?
Oh my god. Now this is the best character in the entire series. He baited the entire cast in a pointless padding sequence. This is epic. Afterwards, Liza meets some random woman who she bumped into while drunk, and she tells her that the cast on her arm is fake, and cuts it off.
And I was worried about passing my test on how to do a cast, and you offered to let me put one on you.
Wait, I didn't break my arm?
No, silly.
Just, it's so pointless. Why? It doesn't make any sense. Also, apparently they met Drake last night when they were drunk.
I'm Chris, assistant to Drake.
Drake! We were with Drake last night?
Yep, just put famous name in the script, I don't care. But you know what? It's really nice that Fortnite Ninja would let the guy he made famous roam around without his supervision. Liza keeps her elite status, but then finds out that there's a platinum rank as well, which I assume season 2 will be focusing on because, you know, we're at the end now. And then the three of them walk off into the night, glad that they could finally collect their paychecks. All in all, Liza on Demand isn't horrendous. It's not airplane mode bad. It's kind of like IGN reviewing any Call of Duty game. It's incredibly safe and really doesn't do anything different.
It risks overcomplicating things.
It copies tropes and cliches from more popular media, then tries to add a slight twist just so it isn't directly copying. Also, as a side note, apparently all of these episodes are rated 12, but have some really mature language in them.
You limpy bitch.
You know, I honestly wouldn't care, but if I say a word more aggressive than heck, I get limited ads, and I get no money to feed my 5 starving children. One thing I will say is the last couple of episodes were at least watchable. I'm not sure if it was because my reptilian brain went into autopilot, or they actually found some form of footing, but it came too late. You know, the combat is clunky, the NPCs don't have any believable dialogue, and the fast traveling usually doesn't even work. Maybe the DLC Season 2 can fix some of the problems. I'm going to give it a 6.582 out of 11.203. It's okay. But yeah, on a side note, I was actually going to include the second season as well, but it has even more episodes, and I'd rather keep the video under 5 hours. If you want me to do a video on Season 2, we'll see. I've never made a film before, but if I did, I'd make a good one, or a really good one. But nowadays, streaming shows are just as popular, or even more so than big pictures, with impressive budgets bringing stunning visuals to life. YouTube have also jumped on this with their YouTube originals.
That was the joke.
Usually where they take a safe and brand-friendly person and give them their own show. Some of these are great, some are blacklisted, and then we have Liza Koshy's show, Liza on Demand.
And she won't buy me those Yeezys.
I can't believe you would sleep with a black horse.
The show stars Liza playing herself on various Class A substances, so basically normal Liza. Accompanied by her friends, Harlow and Oliver, Liza travels around LA completing various odd jobs for the Task It app, seeing what wacky and quirky hijinks they get into.
I'm going down!
I covered the first season of her show in a previous video, but now it's been renewed for a second season with even more episodes. You can tell people really wanted a second season. Look at all the glowing reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. The opening episode has 81 million views.
It's time to simp.
And by the dislike ratio, it's obvious people went to Liza's channel to get this content, and it definitely wasn't artificially dumped in their recommended. The first episode opens with Liza talking about how Taskit have changed since the first season.
What's up with the internet? I can't log on to Taskit.
I thought as an elite status tasker, you got your pick of the jobs.
I told you, Taskit got bought. Okay, there's no status of any kind now. It's a goddamn free-for-all.
Now, if you guys didn't know, the first season of Liza on Demand, Liza's end goal was to get the coveted elite status on Taskit. Basically meaning she'd get a bunch of cool benefits. The very end of the first season, she gets the status. And now the beginning of the second season, it's been defunct to nothing. I watched over 3 hours of Liza Koshy just to end up back where I started.
The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out.
Liza also explains how she set herself up on a dating app and has no matches until she augments her breasts, and then she gets instantly matched.
I haven't gotten one response on my profile. Not one. But last night, I took some new photos wearing these. And guess what? But I got a date. That's right. I'm going on a date later.
Listen, my systems are acting up a little, so I've got to get checked out.
Kind of ironic how the last season's message was mostly, look how bad this man is. How he treats women, that's bad. now I'm sad. But this time, Liza is basically lying to a man to get a date. But, you know, they also make a Karen speaking to the manager joke.
What is Officetopia?
Only the hottest Instagram installation. Oh, and I hear that there's this woman named Karen who just sits there and complains that the AC is too hot.
Guys, we can no longer make the Karen speaking to the manager joke. Rest in peace, it had a good run. Liza also gets a job modeling before a date, thinking she'll show off to everyone, but she has to strip I'm sorry. Hey, text-to-speech bot, can you say the word for me?
No, Susan will rob us.
Thank you. Also in the B story, Oliver is pretending to be a straight man to lure out a married man who he thinks may be gay.
I may have pretended to be married and let him lure me out of the closet. I thought it was going to be a one-time thing, but we're kind of vibing.
I mean, to be fair, it's more complex than a Rick and Morty B story, so I'll give him that.
Susan Majiski.
In the art class, Liza bottles it and runs outside the fire exit, trapping her dressing gown in the doorway. They basically nabbed the scene from Birdman, except where that was an amazing, chaotic, constant take. This is quirky humor where a woman runs down the street, hiding behind various objects. Liza then tries to nab a jacket from a thrift shop, only to get caught by the owner.
Stop! Thief! Put that back, you worthless thief.
I love the fact that she can commit theft so nonchalantly, but she can't exit out of dialogue with someone. She gets given a paper bag to wear by the shop owner and has to walk back to the art house in shame.
Dakota Fanning wore the same one.
This scene pretty much explains the whole show perfectly. Notice how Liza is engaging with these people despite them giving her no attention whatsoever. I mean, to be fair, it is LA. They probably thought she was like an anti-plastic campaigner or something. But oh no, guys. Liza's date sees her in the paper bag. What an inconvenience. The shot ends like there's going to be a commercial break or something. Liza, quite panicked, runs into a Botox clinic that uses bees. Because that's funny.
I mean, what's the deal with cancer?
She knocks open a beehive and wow, look, that's 80% of the season's budget gone to one CGI bee. Take that, Marvel. We have a bee. Get that beta wasp out of here. One thing I've noticed watching this season as well, only one episode in, and most of Liza's comedy
Bazinga.
Pretty much just comes from her pulling a facial expression like she took 5 milligrams of fentanyl. Practical comedy is great, but if you're just pulling the same smooth brain face every time, it gets super repetitive. Also, because this is Liza's show, one thing she loves to do is use it as a platform to mock people she doesn't agree with. Like how this caricature of a woman berates Liza for wearing a poster of a plus-size girl because she's not happy about her figure.
Where did you get that?
What?
That poster. You need to give it to me. No, I have been all over town tearing those awful things down. They are extremely offensive.
What's wrong with her?
I have spent years starving myself, and now they're just gonna put someone like that on the cover, huh? This has all just been for nothing?
Yes, because every lean woman has starved themselves to get where they are today with their body. But you know what? I'll give it this. At least it's woman bad this time instead of man bad. Liza's slowly getting more diverse.
Is that Wojak?
She finally gets her clothes. I mean, it's not going to matter. The video's going to get demonetized anyway. She learns literally nothing from the experience and uses coconuts to augment her breasts.
I'm engineered, so what? My brother and I suspected as much while we were growing up.
Also, she finally meets her date and the coconuts fall out in under 5 seconds, making the entire bit pointless.
How did tropical fruit get in my shirt? What?
She then gives a speech about how she's finally happy with herself and her body, not letting anyone judge her. Incredibly entitled, as to most standards, Liza is very conventionally attractive. Liza then of course strips off, and she wrote into the script that a horde of people would surround her, taking pictures in awe. We've truly entered Lele Pond's level in lack of self-awareness.
No, you got this, you got this. What are you doing? Lele, what?
Nice run!
Also, Liza's date is bold and nearly blind. Because there's 5 minutes of runtime left, we can't find any proper character flaws that aren't superficial. But then again, the writers needed to get rid of him without Liza coming across as a total narcissist. So they came up with this excuse.
Hey, what are you doing home so early?
Well, Tyler came out about being bald, being blind, but managed to leave out the part about being married.
What?
Yeah, we went back to his place and there were pictures of his wife everywhere. Apparently she was out of town for the weekend.
Liza Koshy won! Men zero. Oh yeah, and that B story with Oliver dating the other guy, that didn't work out, but who really cares? We knew it wouldn't have worked out, because that would mean the writers would have had to accommodate future episodes for him. And that requires effort.
Your wife is a lovely, lovely person, and she's crazy about you. I got to know her when I...
Two.
Mom, no, I haven't ordered my sorry yet.
The opening of episode 2, Liza's trying to fix her broken car, and the car becomes sentient, probably trying to escape the show. The theme around this episode is family.
Huh?
Yeah, that one. And Liza doesn't want to go to a family reunion because she finds them boring.
I mean, would anybody really notice if I didn't go?
Maybe your weird uncle who kisses you on the mouth.
Uncle Rush.
Wow, I didn't know Greg Paul got a cameo in this series. Thanks, Liza. How inclusive. Our female lead then gets a job at an ancestry DNA lab. Have a guess what they're called? No, seriously, have a guess.
Ooh, what up, fam?
How do you do, fellow kids?
I just love the fact how they let Liza work in this high security job where she has access to people's DNA.
Don't think I won't report this.
She of course messes the job up, sneezes into the vials, and that leads to a rich white family mistaking her as a relative.
The reason I found you is because I took this DNA test. You know, what up, fam? And as it turns out, we're related!
This is the face of the clinically insane.
So, instead of white people bad this episode, white people stupid?
Here, this side of the family came over on the Mayflower, and Mommy's side fought in the Civil War for the right side.
And which side is the right side?
Liza, you're too funny. Oh my god.
No, never mind. White people bad again. Liza, of course, uses this situation to manipulate the smooth brains to get a ton of free stuff.
If you're having car trouble, I'll have it towed to our shop.
Oh, that's nice of you, but I'm a little short on funds at the moment.
Liza, we wouldn't charge you. You're family. And you'll probably need a loaner car in the meantime, right?
What? No, I could do that. That could definitely work.
A relatable protagonist, everyone. Also, I'm pretty convinced Harlow and Oliver are only in the show to perfectly encapsulate how any normal person would react to Liza Koshy's jokes.
Can you believe they're just letting me use this car? I mean, the glove box is refrigerated. It's better than our refrigerator in the apartment. I went out and I bought butter just for the car. You guys want butter?
I really do wish 90% of the jokes weren't random equals funny, but it's really not the case. The group were introduced to Liza's fake family. You can tell they're rich, not because of the loaned car or the size of the house, but being able to spot the whiteness of the dad's teeth 40 kilometers away. America.
Oh, look at you. Look at her, Cora.
Oh, I'm looking, darling.
Oh.
The dad actually looks like a stock image of a white businessman on Google Images.
Now, I just got a quick question to ask you.
Ask away.
You know, now that I got a little bit of brown in my blood, I can say the N-word now, right?
No. I know what the N-word is, and no, you cannot.
Are you sure?
Why does Liza keep writing in white people that are racist? Like, I get it, white people do suck, but if this show gets a third season, I'm expecting a coronavirus joke from one.
Yeah, this place is all right, I guess. I mean, I'm only staying here because I got kicked out of my last place. You think my neighbors would be so stoked that I had a Migo show perform right on the front lawn? And we pretty much put out the fire, like, right away, so it wasn't even that big of a deal.
Also, the rich family's son kind of reminds me of another YouTuber.
I wish I could get you the place I just listed, but I kind of already promised it to Ja Rule.
What? Well, can I take a look at it?
I mean, I guess you are like family now. I suppose I could fit you in.
Suck it, Ja Rule, yeah.
Come on, guys, don't kick Ja when he's down. Look, he's still recovering from Fire Festival.
It's gonna be out of this world!
Exploring the house, Liza finds a letter from the DNA company warning them that Liza is not part of the family. They also do this really overcomplicated skit that Liza is the bad guy because she's half white.
I have dealt with racism our entire lives, and an opportunity like this just does not come along very often.
You two playing the race card on me? Hello?
Technically, you're half. Your white side owes us this.
I don't even mind the race jokes, but if you're using them as a crutch for pretty much all of the comedy, then you know you have a problem. Like, seriously, it's even harder to find the funny this season than the first one.
It's too fast! How could you even tell what's on?
I can tell.
That loaner car really suits you. I want you to keep it.
Heated seats. Racism. Cooling seats. Racism. the option to set my butt to any temperature. Racism.
Now, Liza has a very difficult choice. Keep her comfortable life with near limitless wealth, or single-handedly end racism. Liza obviously takes the more mature choice of ending racism, and probably because the budget would only allow renting the mansion for one episode.
Liza, what are you talking about?
It's a lie. And as this letter will tell you, we are not related.
I'm white again. Mama's breaking out the good pill.
Wait, we still have 10 minutes of runtime left, and the plot got resolved too early. Sure, let's have Liza's date be the rich son from the house, and he too has came to end racism.
I mean, we've had some really great talks about race and my white privilege, and I can honestly say that I see how insensitive I really was.
Wait, a side character having a redemption arc? We can't have that. He might transition from 1D to 2D. Quick, say he's into incest or something.
Now that we're not related, we can go out.
Wait, what do you mean we're not related?
I mean, we're not related. Remember the big speech that I gave at your house?
Oh yeah, I got bored and zoned out. Ah, that's a bummer. The whole kissing cousins thing was what was kind of doing it for me.
Gross.
Well, maybe we could still pretend to be related? Okay, yeah. No.
We did it, guys. Budget saved and man's still bad. Liza Koshy out here saving modern cinema. But first,
I can say the N-word now, right?
Now, episode 3 is all about online ads. You know, they're kind of a double-edged sword. As much as I despise ads, I need them to make a living, so please turn off ad block. Thanks, guys. The opening shows Liza leaving a nice comment on someone's artwork in a sea of negative ones.
I'm gonna write something nice. Hey, I love Timothée Chalamet, and this looks just like him.
This scene has pretty much nothing to do with the rest of the episode, and only highlights how much of a good-natured person Liza is. Take my Reddit gold, Liza. Take it all, please. Maybe one day you can have my platinum. Also, Harlow and Oliver are using this free face filter app that has ads on it, and this could have been a funny skit. I mean, imagine all the pop-ups that could have came up.
You guys have no idea what
Liza later has a smoke detector installed by a creepy old guy that may or may not have installed a camera inside to spy on her.
Okay, now, the red light, sometimes flashing on the smoke detector. That just means it's working. Not that there's a camera in there.
This is never brought up again and feels really out of place in the rest of the episode, but, I guess there's a quota to fill somewhere. Back into the main plot. Liza's also using this free app, and this has led to her face being used for multiple ads without her consent. She meets a hacker who tells her that she has to go into hiding away from the internet if she wants the exposure to stop.
But can you restore my contacts?
You don't need to reach anyone, and no one needs to reach you. Go dark. Hell, if I could destroy the memory of us meeting right now, I would. Just like how everyone forgot that Kendall Jenner solved racism with a Pepsi.
All right, you know what? That was a good one. I can't believe I complimented a Liza Koshy joke. Wow, that was really nice, Pepsi Man. Anyway, time to beat the protesters. Liza goes on a boycott for online ads, but then realizes she's missing out on pretty much every social interaction. Ordering food and watching movie trailers are out of the question.
Bro, what the fuck is this supposed to be? Anybody brings me this as a gift, I'm literally telling you to return this.
You know the boomer memes that are like phone bad? The episode turns that into everyone walking around on their phones like zombies until Liza meets a very special cameo. Josh Peck. Hysterical! Josh, of course, from Drake and Josh fame, and that one film where he plays a fat kid that swears a lot. He now has his own YouTube channel and frequently collabs with Jimmy Fallon's son. To be fair though, I gotta give respect to his weight loss. I too was once a heckin' chunker. Oh, why did I say that?
Hillary Clit. I'm voting for Hillary Clit.
We're starting a real movement. I mean, the internet is so much more dangerous than people realize.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me.
Liza wants in on Josh's no-tech group and has to sign an NDA to join.
Totally. Hey, I get it. Privacy is no joke.
You can already tell where this is going. You know, with the Face app, she signed a contract. She does want... Yeah, you get it, right?
Liza, this is Eli and Roger, Thomas, and this is Andrew.
Going inside, it's pretty much an Amish community. No technology means living in the 1800s, apparently.
You always walk around
We were all drawn to each other through a mutual distrust of technology, specifically the rise of the internet.
I made one slightly racist joke on Twitter 6 years ago and never deleted it. Now I can't get a job anywhere.
I feel in any other show that would have been a joke, but because so many jokes Liza makes are white people bad, I'm not sure whether she's saying this as a comment on cancel culture or people getting what they deserve. Oh yeah, and remember that contract she signed? It's not that great.
We will be safe downstairs in a fully stocked bunker where we will wait out the apocalypse till we can rebuild the human race. With Liza as the mother of all our children. Let's go!
What?
It's basically a complete rip-off of season 1, where she goes to that political event only to find out she got baited into supporting everything against her beliefs for bad man.
I want you to imagine a time when life was about working with your hands. When you wanted to hear a song, you simply dropped a needle on a phonograph.
So, in conclusion, man bad again. But this time, signed on paper.
Thomas still has a RedTube account. Excuse me, that is YouTube Red, and I use it to watch Cobra Kai. Eli stays up all night watching Japanese newscast report.
I don't understand. Have you seen the Amazon one? Shut up! That's about enough.
I got some jelly beans.
Episode 4 starts off with Liza dying. Only joking, guys. Liza and her bank account are just fine. She gets a task job to work at a place called Prospector Gym, and Liza can't go 5 seconds without making a race-related joke again.
You think he's aware that the name is a little problematic? You know, the gold rush was basically a Native American genocide. Sorry.
That woman is my mental state trying to watch this show. You also have this guy that looks like Jimmy Kimmel, who takes Liza's donut and spits it out anyway.
Fill it?
Later on, the group is doing a pub quiz and cheers to the winning round. Then a guy barges into them, making them spill their drink, and Liza apologizes.
Sorry.
They then tried to twist this as like a societal norm that women apologize for everything, even when they're not in the wrong.
Why the hell did you apologize to him, Liza?
I don't know, it's just being polite, I guess.
No, that's not polite. You just said I'm sorry after he knocked into us. That's a really bad habit, Liza, and women do that all the time.
It's a pointless bit trying to weakly shoehorn in a message of female empowerment. There's definitely inequality between men and women, but I've been sitting down at bars, and I still apologize if someone barges into me. Partly because that's what my brain does on autopilot, and secondly because I'm a coward.
Half the time, women apologize for things that they didn't even do wrong. Men never do that.
Who put that there?
Wait, so you're telling me, man, bad? Sorry, I just need a moment. Truly thought-provoking content.
Can I get a bowl of that chili?
Thank God this wasn't locked behind a paywall like HBO. Liza goes to bed and wishes that she could stop apologizing just for one day.
Nighty-nighty.
Sparks fly out of her plug adapter and she wakes up losing the ability to say sorry.
Liza, did you finish the almond milk?
I'm so Oliver, I'm really
What?
So clearly, guys, she's died in a house fire and is living out her worst nightmares in purgatory. Living in LA and not being able to say sorry. Look, all right, come on, guys. Look, no one wants to live in LA. There's just connections to be made. She finds out pretty quickly that she's living in a dream where she can't apologize. They could have put a cool twist on this. Like in Mr. Robot, they had this one episode where they had like a fake set to purposely emulate an old TV show. But instead they have the same sets, same setup, just Liza can't say the S word anymore, which leads to hilarious inconveniences.
My grandmother died.
Oh, I'm so stoked.
You're stoked?
Yeah.
It's classic George, am I right?
Something I've noticed with Liza, she doesn't know how to act with anything apart from her mouth. She kind of reminds me of Rey from the first Star Wars film she appeared in, like, you know, staring blankly, doing big mouth open thing. It's not proper acting.
I bypassed the compressor.
If you look at Liza's eyes when she's being overdramatic, they're pretty much doing nothing apart from a wide-eyed glance like she's staring into the void. This is also coming from someone with no acting experience, So, you know, it's coming from a good place. The aliens are coming! We've been compromised! Liza gets called to the manager's office for a lack of apologies. He, of course, loves her new demeanor, never taking no as an answer. He basically gives her control over the entire company, giving him options to run with, including changing their stock and removing his ponytail.
Oh, there's just one more thing I want to get your honest opinion on. What do you think about my ponytail?
Oh, I'm done. Do you think that looks good?
Descarga tus videos de meditación y relájate sin interrupciones. Te regalamos una prueba de YouTube Premium.
I'm so surprised nobody has cut it off already.
I knew it, but you were the first person with the balls to tell.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
But Liza starts to notice some cracks when the manager takes his mistakes out on his secretary.
Just to let you know, Rachel Ray's still on the phone.
What the hell? Why did you tell me?
I'm so sorry.
There goes our Rachel Raisin Bran cereal and our Rachel Ray fried beans. Can you stop screwing everything up and get her back?
Sorry.
Liza tries to tell him how it's his fault, but can't because she can't say the S word.
I'm saying you should probably say you're
By the way, here's multiple examples of what she should have said without saying the S word to him. She's also fallen out with her friends because she couldn't make the pub quiz. Like, I don't really understand how this is Liza's fault.
Oh, hi, Liza. Remember us? Your roommates, your teammates, the Destiny's Child to your Beyonce?
Guys. Lena, you're too important for us now.
Her getting more work and the others getting angry because she doesn't have time just seems really jealous and spiteful. Like, guys, I hate to say this for once, but I don't think Liza's in the wrong. With her friendship ruined from jealous friends and possible job security for the foreseeable future, this is a nightmare Liza needs to wake up from. And the next day, she can apologize again.
Sorry.
This leads to her to just be a complete brainlet on purpose, only to apologize after.
Sorry.
Wait, so I can do bad thing, but if I apologize, it's okay? Right, guys, I'm off to commit arson. If I apologize in the court, I'll be fine. The moral of the story this episode? Women have power.
Liza, you really should apologize to the team for wasting their time like this.
No.
You're fired! Episode 5 opens with Liza on a date, meeting a guy that seems perfect and a high achiever. He slurps on his coffee, so Liza breaks up with him instantly.
Introduce us sooner.
It's ironic how someone who writes people as one-dimensional characters wrote herself to cut off from people who have a slight fault. Wait, could this be self-awareness? Oliver tries to help Liza out by telling her to lower her standards.
What? You always do this, Liza. You meet some amazing guy and you find a tiny little flaw and then you blow the whole thing up.
I do not.
An actually funny bit, honestly. Again, like, Oliver is really the only redeeming person in this show. If he was the central character instead of Liza, I'd probably enjoy this show, but unfortunately, he doesn't have a YouTube channel with 17 million subscribers. Later on, Liza starts working a tasket job at a fairground and meets a guy who's a possible date. They have great chemistry, and he's the only person in the entire series to ever laugh at a joke she's made.
I mean, we could probably take him if we gang up. You look potentially lethal.
I don't want to brag or anything, but I did just get my black belt last year. Not for karate, just a really nice black belt for me, you know.
He's an ad marketer and apparently has no social media, which gives Oliver and Harlow red flags.
And he has a job.
He's a partner at an ad agency. They made that Super Bowl commercial, the one that made me cry.
The one with the hot wings.
I wonder if he designed the Super Bowl ad Rice Gum was in. Also, I find it ironic that apparently someone who isn't on social media is inherently a bad person. I mean, in the last episode, Liza's writers were trying to convey that people who spend all their time on social media were just drones. Also now, Oliver has a boyfriend who's basically the embodiment of what the internet thinks a Redditor acts like in real life.
Ooh, smoking!
At her date's house, Liza goes through his belongings to find a bunch of poorly photoshopped images of him. I thought this would be part of the plot, but every superimposed picture before this has been trash as well, so it's probably just production quality. Just before concluding her investigation, Liza finds a pair of women's heels in the wardrobe. I thought by the end of the episode we'd find out he's into cross-dressing, but Oliver states it too early, so that can't be the case.
Okay, you don't know it's another woman. Maybe he likes wearing women's shoes. Did you think of that? And would that really be such a bad thing?
It is 2019. Maybe you should be a little more progressive, Liza.
I am very progressive.
Oh, we know, Liza. We know. Later on, she takes up stalking her date, which gets her into more trouble.
Hey, you can't just leave that thing in the middle of the street. You goddamn millennials, you're turning this whole city into your own personal skate park!
To be fair, you know, at least she didn't make it a race thing. Liza then sees her date with another woman, and despite him giving no public affection to her, and it could just be work-related, is convinced he's two-timing her. Out of spite, Liza goes back to the fairground to find him and publicly humiliate him, only for it to totally backfire.
Another woman?
I saw you with her, Hendrix. I saw you both coming out of the hotel.
That woman you saw me with is my sister. It was her birthday. She's a manager at the hotel, and I met her there for lunch. You know, we took that selfie together to send to our mom.
Oh, that's really sweet.
They also share a kiss where they only bite each other's bottom lip. I mean, gotta keep it PG-13, I guess. Of course, this relationship can't last because they'd actually have to rewrite him into the show. So we find out last minute the guy is a total psycho.
I want the giraffe. I tossed that on the peg, and then I won the giraffe. Giraffe, thank you, sir. The giraffe is mine. I will take this giraffe. No. Get your hands up. Yeah, that's what I think you're giraffe. Okay, that's what I think you're giraffe. I'll tear their heads off all these mother. This is the same way I got kicked off Twitter.
Yep, dude, I feel you. I too have a permanent Twitter ban. Also, Harlow's date is a douche, and Oliver gets sick of his boyfriend's impersonations.
How about cable gay?
So, all in all, a completely pointless episode that went nowhere. Truly Oscar-worthy content. Episode 6 opens up with Liza having tooth pain, saying that she needs Taskit points to get insurance for her to see a dentist. Imagine living in a country where healthcare wasn't free.
I mean, I need to use my Taskit insurance, but I don't have enough points.
Also, remember what was said in the first episode?
Okay, there's no status of any kind now. It's a goddamn free-for-all.
So now, Taskit is worth something. Taking up her Taskit job, Liza goes to her house, and then bumps into an old friend.
Liza! It's me, Katie. I knew I recognized you. We did Taskit training together.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine Taskit training is right next door to the place where they assemble iPhones.
I want to weed out anything that doesn't scream boss, you know? Like these jeans. I mean, I was going to put stuff on consignment, but I think we'll just donate.
$500 for a pair of jeans?
Firstly, who keeps the tag on their jeans like 4 years after you've bought them? And secondly, Liza, honey, look, I know it's a character you're playing that shares the same first name as you, but don't act like $500 is a lot. We've all seen your net worth. We know the brand deals you get. It didn't work with Shane Dawson, and it's not going to work here.
You have Gucci slides? Maybe you should try getting a job.
I think it's kind of ironic that there's a girl in the show who's rich and successful and has many famous contacts, and it's not Liza. Is Liza Koshy projecting herself into the show? I mean, to be fair, she was with Will Smith the other week.
I got a show called Liza on Demand.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Actually, you know what?
Later on, Liza and her posse start doing a stage play inside the apartment. Not really sure why, but at least the boomer gets another chance to shine.
Look, I saw Vice. Okay, I can do 3 different kinds of heart attacks. I can give you the
homo vloggers.
or the
My name is Jeff.
or the
Yes, yes, and yes!
There's a guy playing on the piano as well. I'm sure it's going to get content ID'd, so I'm just going to sum up the whole scene with penis music. Also, one thing to mention, the cinematography for this episode is very different. Instead of mostly still frames like the rest of the series, it has a handheld camera, much like other sitcoms like Modern Family, and I actually kind of like it. I think it's a really good addition and makes scenes feel a lot more organic instead of just waiting for Liza to make a funny reference to something. I have no idea why they filmed the entire show with this static angle. It makes everything feel so robotic and lifeless. Going back to Liza's rich friend's house, she's agreeing to see the live stage play. But what's this?
I'll enhance that.
Only a basic AirPod? Or maybe AirPod 2 at best? I'm sorry, but if you don't have the AirPods Pro, you're a certified peasant. Before the show, Oliver and Liza have an argument about vision, and Liza kicks Oliver out of the casting, forcing her to set up an impromptu cast to take his role, and this is actually a really funny concept.
You auditioning for the role of Oliver too?
Auditioning? I am Oliver.
Oh, that's good. Gotta fully commit right away. I'm gonna try that. I am Oliver.
Again, like, why does Oliver not have his own show? I swear, the only funny things generate from him. The next scene, we have a montage of auditions that just remind me of really bad acting on early YouTube.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
someone finally gets the role of Oliver and starts copying everything Oliver does. Again, this is pretty funny, like, the concept isn't original, but I vibe with Oliver getting a bigger role.
I was cast in the role of Oliver. The show's this weekend, so I want to make sure I did as much research as possible. Could you tell me about a traumatic childhood experience that I can draw from?
I don't have to.
I actually looked up who wrote and directed this episode, and these people have not worked on a single episode prior. It really shows how something can go from terrible to watchable if you change up who's working behind the scenes. Liza later apologizes to Oliver for kicking him off the acting team. He apparently predicted it and came in costume to outshine everyone. 10 out of 10 character development. Flashbang! Also, that rich girl from earlier, she's a fraudster and gets arrested because no one can be more powerful than Liza Koshy.
Why are you arresting her?
Multiple counts of fraud.
Fraud?
She misled investors with false information, fake accounts, fake followers.
Hold on a minute. Did we finish an entire episode of Liza on Demand and man wasn't bad? Heavens be praised. The writers have had actual character development. The next episode is super different. It's an archive pilot episode that was meant to be streamed on an unspecified network. My theory, it'd be on AMC, replacing Better Call Saul and The Walking Dead.
That pilot has been under lock and key until now, and we would love to share it with you.
This episode has a more sitcom feel, including a live studio audience reacting, kind of like the wedding from Shrek.
He's not your true love.
What do you know about true love?
Well, the ogre has...
It comes across as really jarring because no other episode is filmed like this. Characters take long pauses so the audience can laugh. Like, there's videos on YouTube of sitcoms that have the laughter track removed, and it becomes really noticeable how long the characters' breaks are between sentences to give the audience time to react.
Pizza's on the way. I told you we wouldn't have to get up. What if we have to pee? I'll cancel the sodas.
The only difference now, really, is that people are actually employed just to laugh at Liza's jokes.
Oh, you guys look amazing. What is the occasion?
She forgot.
No, I didn't forget about Twin Day.
They also have this really weird intro that just uses, like, episodes. Like, none of this was filmed just for the episode, so it feels even more phoned in.
She'll always understand she's Liza on demand.
I genuinely thought they were doing a Mr. Robot bit, and, like, you know, halfway through Liza would wake up and it'd all be a dream, but nope.
Okay, but don't worry, I'm as not dead as I've ever been.
Were you able to pick up the new pearls for Miss Eva?
Yes, I did, and they are right here.
Why did everyone chuckle? Like, she opened a box. Like, where is the comedy? The audience is tripping out on fentanyl. Liza has a job and meets a woman who's scared of leaving her home, and to push her out of her comfort zone, steals her property and forces her to come out of the house to get it back.
There you go.
Liza takes her into the apartment and sets up shop, including bringing all of her dolls, despite being locked out of her house.
Where are your keys?
You know, whatever. I'm not educated enough to question the Liza Koshy law. The woman starts to take over the group's lives, looking more and more like Teresa from Fable. Did it, boys. Video game reference that wasn't Dark Souls. Give me some Reddit gold. They take her to a doll store under the promise that if she gets a particular doll, she'll go back to her own apartment. But unfortunately, they're stopped by a guy who crashes into them because he has the flu.
I knew it! 6! Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
No.
Oh, God.
No, but not because of the car. It's because I think I have the flu, and I'm trying to get to the doctor before they close, you know, because I have a terrible cough and, and a fever.
Did Liza Koshy predict the coronavirus?
Weak my ass.
Liza goes home, an AC unit nearly falls on her.
Oh, my God!
Only for a potted plant to... Alright, you know what? Just stop. Look, I get comedy is subjective, but you can't just have random things happening every 5 seconds and classify that as entertainment. There's no structural flow here. Gypsy woman has dolls, man with flu, Liza hit on head. I feel like I'm getting ADD just watching this episode. The less I complain, the quicker it'll be over. What happens at the end? Yep, the woman gets the doll and she moves out. The end. Great. Also, there's some guy doing a pyrocynical purple hat cameo. Yeah, I really got to finish that series. Thankfully, episode 8 returns to normal with a laughter track free format. Like, I can't believe I've reached the point where I'm thanking Liza Koshy for returning the show to normal. I think this show has actually turned me into a sleeper agent.
What you do is
subscribe to Liza Koshy
now.
Excuse me.
The episode begins with Oliver and Harlow minimizing their wardrobe. You know that thing people do when they have too much spare time on their hands? It's basically removing everything in your possession that isn't bare essentials.
Liza, you're looking at this all wrong. Minimizing is great. Holding on to objects from your past only stops you from moving forward.
Yeah, just tell Pokemon YouTubers to get rid of their card collection. I'm sure that'll go down well.
I haven't seen my wife in 2 months. She has probably left me for another man with 2 functioning legs. Pokemon cards are all I have. Please leave me alone.
Liza does a tasket job helping a guy called Scott move his furniture, and she discovers that he played a character in a childhood TV show starring a rabbit and a bear called Rabbit and Bear. Again, the originality is just awe-inspiring. This causes Liza to be super invested, and her invested voice is even more annoying than her regular voice.
Look, it's Rabbit and Bear. Oh, remember that episode where Rabbit was afraid of the dark, so Bear gave him a little tiny bear to hug when he went to sleep? Oh, come on.
Back at home, Oliver and Harlow are still minimalizing, and to be fair, they're actually turning it into a pretty funny bit.
I can hold my drink while I watch TV.
Do I really need to sit while I eat? Isn't food better standing?
I don't really need this. I mean, I know what I look like.
Then Liza comes back and hijacks the actually funny concept with her A story.
The guy whose garage I've been minimizing, he is the creator and star of Magic Meadows. The famous local children's TV show that aired from 1995 to 2002. You guys have never seen Magic Meadows? Get the frap out.
Oh god, I thought she was just going to swear there, like my Christian viewers would have unsubscribed. Back in the B story, Oliver and Harlow's minimizing is getting worse, to the point where Oliver pours himself a coffee. They CGI'd in the steam from the mug. It's nice to know the budget is going where it's really needed. In Liza's story, she reaches out to Scott's friend, who he used to do the children's show with.
Scott's crazy, and I'm done with crazy. I installed a home theater for Little Wayne.
I think it's pronounced Lil.
You know what? You're crazy too.
I'm not sure why, but Scott and his old partner both remind me pretty heavily of Stephen Merchant. They both emulate the same quirky mannerisms he had in The Office and in Portal 2.
That's what I thought. Please leave. Unless you want to talk about an easy low-interest payment plan. No, forget it. Get out!
Stand right here, stand. Where'd you go? Come back, come back! No, seriously, come back, please, come back.
Will you please light up all that stuff like a doob at a fish concert? Because I don't want to look at it again. I do, however, want to smoke a doob right now. Thank you for the suggestion.
I was a big, lanky, goggle-eyed freak.
All right, calm down, mate. There's no need to get offensive.
No, I was just enjoying
Call you fatty as soon as
All
I
right,
saw
no,
you.
I was...
Liza, being the honest, hard-working woman she is, baits both of the kids' show hosts to come to the house so they inevitably have to confront each other.
Your wiring looks sound enough. Well, if it isn't Puppeteer Magazine's Betrayer of the Year.
Look, I know you have a problem with Scott being a micromanager, and I know you have problems with Jeremy not pulling his own weight.
Is that what he said?
The rest of the episode just devolves into people using puppets and making funny voices.
Actually, 5-year-olds are capable of grasping some pretty sophisticated concepts, Bear.
You have a single fact to back that up.
Like, the good news is, Liza finally understands her subscriber's age. This is a pivotal moment. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm scrubbing through this episode, and the rest of it is just puppets. With the amount of innuendos this show has, you think they'd put like a dark twist on the kids' show, but no, it's just the Muppets. No, never mind. They do have a dark twist. Near the end, they've got like a remake of The Puppet Show with J.J. Abrams, and it's starring Will Smith and Emma Stone, where they just get it on.
What are they doing?
Oh, right.
Oh, major departure.
This is not appropriate metal behavior, not at all.
I want to see.
No.
I swear, Liza Koshy's writing team is just sex funny. Famous name, repeat. The problem I have with this show is that Liza's tasket job has taken a major backseat, and without it, the series feels super lost and confused. The task it concept wasn't original, but at least it forced Liza into uncomfortable situations and created a funny dynamic. And you know, with her getting the elite status, there was actually an end game, like a point to continue watching the series. Now all we have is just grown men with puppets and a man with a cough. Now, the final 2 episodes do change the game a little bit, mostly because it's one episode that's split into 2 parts. Pretty surprised that they're connecting. I mean, the only real continuity we've had so far is the boomer guy who seems to play all the side character roles. The episode begins with Liza performing a usual comedy routine, being loud and unfunny, pulling off the worst Australian accent of all time.
Good day, mates. Oh, you like my Australian classics?
Afterwards, the group open up a time capsule, and this could have actually been a really good gag. They could have called back to previous episodes, like, you know, the cupcaking from the first episode, or the jigsaw piece that Liza lost. But instead, they again use it just to put out there that man bad.
These are my favorite snack. This cookie's dipped in icing.
Oh, this hasn't aged very well. Well, considering what men are up to these days, cheating at Vikings, not so bad.
The theme around this 2-parter is New Year's, as Liza does odd jobs organizing other people's events. A pretty interesting concept. I'm just wondering how they're going to make it unfunny. In the evening, the group sneak into a party they weren't invited to because Liza has a tasket job to read a kid a bedtime story.
Hi, I'm here to read you a bedtime story. Hi, I'm Liza. And how old are you?
13? Why are you screaming?
If you guys don't recognize this kid, he actually made a cameo in the very first episode where Liza was doing an Uber job.
You're getting 1 star.
You think they'd reference this and have some kind of callback with the kid, but apparently this child is meant to be someone Liza has never met before, and the encounter is never mentioned. Also, he tries to kiss her because all men are terrible.
Whoa!
Meanwhile, Oliver gets a tarot card reading and finds out that the night is going to end horribly.
There's going to be an explosion, a violent explosion at tonight's party. An explosion?
Oliver is so shocked, his reaction makes the entire set shake. Harlow, now on her own, starts hitting on all the men for a midnight kiss, but keeps being cooked, until she eventually stumbles on Jason Nash?
Drake and Josh!
If you don't know who he is, he frequents David Dobrik's vlogs a lot and lives rent-free in Trisha Paytas' brain.
Oh my god, there's little ants all by my butt. Oh my god.
He comes across as a creep and Harlow leaves him, and that's it. He actually does not appear again in the rest of the episode. That was like a 14-second cameo. Liza, exploring the rest of the party, finds an actual celebrity.
Is that Rachel Lee Cook?
Hey, that is her. My wife absolutely loves her.
Who's that? Okay. And ironically, I have no idea who this is. I knew Jason and Josh when they made their cameos, but I got nothing here. Apparently she has 100k followers on Twitter. The guy pretending to be me has more followers than her.
Number 3, I don't like you.
Also, the party was meant to have a lead singer, but they bailed. Thankfully, Liza Koshy is here to save the day with her amazing singing ability.
Cruising to that Miami beach, seatbelts on, drop top down, here's how we go to Miami. And the streamy goes to Liza Koshy.
Liza eventually completes the tasket and can finally enjoy her own New Year's. But plot twist, the car has been stolen.
Where's your car?
Thank goodness all these episodes are available now. I'd surely go insane having to wait a week to find out what happened to the car. The final episode begins with a recap of the previous episode. Kind of pointless because all that happened was a bunch of plot threads that didn't go anywhere and Liza's car being stolen. The semi-famous woman from the previous episode comes to help, and she does this CSI bit the entire episode that just feels really out of place.
Have you forgotten that I spent 6 years as the star of CSI Des Moines?
All I do is figure out the impossible. That trash can's covered in ejaculate. Don't touch anything. This room is covered in ejaculate.
I get it, popular TV show reference, but without any kind of tonal change or real reason to put it in, it comes across like a Family Guy cutaway gag. Liza and Rachel go to the parking lot where a car has been towed and try to convince the manager to release the car without paying any fees.
And you do not want to make Patel angry.
I said you don't want to make Patel angry. Well, it's too late. I'm angry. Oh, yeah, I am. About lots of things. That's why they call me Pissed Off Patel.
Alright, shut it down. Shut it down. Uncensored swear word. Videos are safety hazard, people. Not advertiser friendly.
Now I know what I'm doing!
Okay, Patel.
I actually thought she was going to smash a window then, but I remembered the CGI bee and the CGI steam from the coffee mug. The budget is now on shambles. In the B story, Harlow and Oliver are trying to enjoy a New Year's party. Harlow bumps into a guy with a microwave for a head. Is Liza Koshy trying to mock the pyrocynical channel? But plot twist, it's Mark Wahlberg from season 1, an actual callback. I'm amazed the writing team even remember anything 5 seconds after they wrote it down. For those who don't remember, this guy was Harlow's ex-boyfriend who made a cameo in the first season. Not a great character, but at least I can say now that the show had some kind of callback. Liza finally gets her car back, and she drives the drunk guy home from the previous episode. He massively overpays her, giving her well over $500. Liza keeps the money and drops him off at the wrong place.
Hey, this is in my house?
Yeah, she's really up there with Count Frollo right about now. Liza follows and manages to get into the club, but not without having a deep philosophical debate with the staff.
Going to this party just to live out some childish idea of fun is a terrible idea. It's definitely not $250.
And you did it anyway. All right.
Now, Liza does pretty much the only redeemable thing in the entire show. She ditches the club and goes back to the house she had the tasket job in and tips the girl there with the drunk guy money. I mean, even though it's not really her money, I guess there was a good deed there. 1,400 points to me. 1 to Liza. The countdown to midnight starts. Harlow goes to kiss Mark Wahlberg, only to bail out last second. Microwave Man has been cooked. Please smash like so we can finally get a GF. Also, the show steals a note from Logan Paul's airplane mode and throws in a funny puke joke. The show finally concludes with the group together, back where they started, achieving pretty much nothing apart from having more self-worth as people. What a wholesome ending. Yeah, season 2 just sucks.
And the show sucked.
Season 1 was mediocre at best, but this was just painfully unfunny. Maybe it's unfair because we already know the format, you know, following seasons and sequels always have to outdo the previous content, but here it just falls flat. I think the biggest thing that hurt this show was removing the main focus on Tasket. I mean, Liza has no real end goal in the series now. At least season 1 had a positive conclusion. This just had nothing. I'm a materialistic person. If there's no visible change by the end of the show, then show bad. I'm a critic, by the way. I hate to say it, but in retrospect, the first season was actually pretty entertaining, you know, with the doppelgangers and the weird cult-like funeral. This season is mostly just failed dates and minor inconveniences. Hopefully in season 3, Liza takes me on as a lead writer, so I can fix the show by making every character Liza Koshy.